Welcome to the channel, everybody. Hope everyone's having a great week so far. I'm OGL Schmidt. Now, last week I reacted to We'll Be Back by Megadeath. This was originally just kind of a token gesture. Denny and I had horribly botched a Symphony of Destruction reaction. That is an outtake that now resides in our $5 members area. But we definitely wanted to put something out there to sort of apologize to the Megadeth fans. So I figured I wanted to react to something from the new album. Their new videos were organized by chapters. So like, okay, chapter 1, We'll Be Back. Let's check it out. It utterly knocked me on my ass. I was not prepared by how fucking awesome that was going to be. Dave and company definitely in top form, and after doing a bit of research, I have found that apparently Megadeth has been putting out very consistently solid material for a few years now. I enjoyed Rust in Peace. I loved Countdown to Extinction. I enjoyed Euthanasia, but Megadeth had kind of fallen off my radar for a bit. Needless to say, We'll Be Back, put them back on with a vengeance. I actually purchased The Sick, the Dying, and the Dead, but I have not listened to it yet because I wanted to save these songs for reactions. And since I've already done Chapter 1, We'll Be Back, what better follow-up than Chapter 2? This is called Night Stalkers, and it features Ice-T. Ice-T, of course, a legendary rapper. He's had a successful acting career. He's no stranger to metal. He had his own metal band called Body Count, and I know he did a cameo in a Black Sabbath song called The Illusion of Power. That's fairly obscure knowledge because that song comes from the worst, pretty much the worst album off the most ignored era of Black Sabbath. That, of course, being the Tony Martin era. The album isn't that bad. I love the Tony Martin era. Might do some reactions on that. But first, I am so excited to listen to Night Stalkers because I want to see if that Megadeth lightning can strike twice. So let's get right into it. Appreciate the production quality on these videos. Just real quick, I'm already pausing, but again, I grew up in the 80s. I used to watch Headbangers Ball. My mother, she would stay up and watch it with me, which not a whole lot of parents did for their kids. But yeah, so we would watch metal videos that way. That was my first exposure to any kind of heavy metal, and the videos were always cheap as hell. No matter how grand the topic, the topic could be, aliens coming from outer space to summon Satan, and it would be, a bunch of hairy dudes in a warehouse somewhere playing. So it is very nice to see money being put into metal videos to where the concepts could actually be done justice on a visual level. Now, granted, I'm not saying that it's necessary. With metal, the music has always been, first and foremost. But I like the fact that now, like, the things I see in my head when I would listen to these songs can now sort of be approximated in a video.
Concealed in the night from the light of the moon, undetected between the heavens, the stars and the seas. They seize the night when it's dark like inside a tomb. They leave their flat black body armor gleams. Light it up! From verdict to deliverance to retribution, to the very last beat of a dead man's pulse. You can hear the thunder roll. You can hear the engines roar. It causes the ground to quake, to buck and convulse.
Yeah, they did it again. Son of a bitch. Okay, yeah. Did anyone else get almost a Sabaton vibe, especially from the beginning? Just the way the guitars and the vocals were both kind of really percussive. And once again, I don't know if this is because of his bout with throat cancer or age or just a combination of factors, but I like how he's using his voice here. The beginning, it was almost very, I don't want to say monotonous, but it was very consistent, and it's not a whole lot of variation in the pitch. Lots of attitude, though, so Dave Mustaine's specialty. And then he engaged some distortion that actually had a really creepy sound to it and some killer screams. Again, not like a long, 30-minute Maynard from Tool scream, but just a sort of like a primal animalistic sound. That's knowing how to use your voice is as much a part of being a good singer as having a gigantic range. If your voice is limited, but you know how to use it, you can still create killer vocals. I love Dave's voice on We'll Be Back, and like this is even better because it's got such a creepy sound to it. Starting from the beginning again. And again, I want to reiterate, Dave is 61. All right, I know like he has assembled a veritable like who's who of heavy metal war horses here. So the talent behind the band right now is amazing. It's top notch. But again, this is a 61-year-old man who has beaten cancer. That's mind-boggling that they can sound this good.
Concealed in the night from the light of the moon, undetected between the heavens, the stars and the seas.
It has a Sabaton feel to it.
They seize the night when it's dark like inside a tomb. Failing their flat black body armor gleams, light it up from verdict to deliverance to retribution.
See, that is a great sound he's using. It's fairly mid-range, but it feels tortured. It's got grit to it. It feels forceful. And I was thinking also, like, if your Sabaton songs tend to have that sort of like fist-pumping anthemic feel to it a lot of times. And I think just sort of changing the vocal style from Joachim's kind of drill sergeant sound to Mustaine's serial killer snarl, here for lack of a better term, can make all the difference in the world. But man, this track is killer.
Failing their flat black body armor gleams, light it up from verdict to deliverance to retribution. To the very last beat of a dead man's pulse, you can hear the thunder roll, you can hear the engines roar. It causes the ground to quake, to buck and convulse.
I love how on the lyric roar, he actually roared. Like there was some echo and whatnot there, but still, just like the grit and the force behind it. Yeah, wow. And this is going to sound silly, but I love their use of profanity. I liked it in We'll Be Back. I think it was in there too, but yeah, it fits with this take no prisoners, take no shit attitude that the band seems to have. I guess cranky old men of metal are not to be fucked with.
Retribution to the very last beat of a dead man's pulse. You can hear the thunder roll, you can hear the engines roar. It causes the ground to quake, to buck and convulse. Lights out in the desert, battle born, ready to fight. Your death waits in the dark when it starts tonight. Night Stalkers.
That was a nice change up there. It's more of a, I don't want to say laid back, but a slower type of groove to it. And it's sort of I don't want to say it functioned as like a reprieve, but it brought the energy down just a little bit, and now it sounds like they're blasting back into hyperspace now. Ah.
Your death waits in the dark when it starts tonight. Night Stalkers. The angels of death ride the waves of the air.
Oh, down there.
They see the pilots on this zero of night. The adventure's ready now as the target's growing near. Tracer bullets shot from the ground behind enemy lines. Blacked out, we're under radio silence. Night's vision on green halos aglow. It's killing time, another lesson in violence. Bodies pile up and adrenaline starts to flow.
So again, there's no vocal gymnastics or acrobatics, but the vocals never feel boring. It does seem like he's varying the amount of distortion he adds. Some lines or some words he'll give an extra push with that distortion. I also want to note it does seem like Dave has like permanent metal whiskey face now. Like his face is like has a like his resting face is his face is frozen in a sneer now, you know. And for what it's worth, I think that works. And I say that because I know Dave is 61, but he would totally kick my ass. I think he has black belts in 2 different kinds of like karate and a brown belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So yeah, you do not fuck with Dave Mustaine, people. Is it Mustaine or Mustaine? I think I'm varying between the two. I'm going to try to call him Dave Mustaine now. Because Mustaine just sounds, I don't know, kind of highfalutin. Then I go back. And I'm going to reiterate just how amazing it is that at this level of their careers, Megadeth is putting out metal this high quality and this energetic.
Blacked out, we're under radio silence. Night's vision on green halos aglow.
Sneer.
It's killing time, another lesson in violence.
More distortion there.
Bodies pile up and adrenaline starts to flow. Lights out in the desert. Battle board ready to fight. Your death waits in the dark, and it stops tonight. Night Stalkers.
Danger.
Yo, when you hear 4 MH-47 and Black Hawk helicopters coming in low in the dark at night, loaded with Rangers and Delta Force special ops shooters, then loaded, game's over, bitches. Got you in my night vision, about to let this 30mm cannon go. You never seen us coming, so there's no chance of running.
Nothing you do can stop them.
Right, not so much rapping as just sort of speaking in a very determined manner. Game over, bitches. It's not quite as effective when I say it, but very cool. I do wonder if the two are friends. Like I said, Ice-T is he's toured with metal bands before. No guitar solo orgy yet, but there have been a couple of brief leads that have been absolutely amazing, very fluid sounding. I got a feeling that that's coming up. But let's hear Ice-T's part again. Also, like the dun, 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 dun. I will never get tired of that. Like it's the simplest shit, but I will never get tired of chugga chugga chugga. And like even like that narration, the chugga 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 made it that much more badass. Not that Ice-T needs any help to be badass, but you lay something like that over a chugga 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 beat. Basically, you lay anything over a chugga 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 beat, it will immediately become that much more badass. That literally sounded like the video farted. Again, guys, promise I'll figure this out.
Yo, when you hear 4 MH-47 and Black Hawk helicopters coming in low in the dark at night, loaded with Rangers and Delta Force special ops shooters, locked and loaded, game's over, bitches. Got you in my night vision, about to let this 30mm cannon go. You never seen us coming, so there's no chance of running. Nothing you do can stop them. They're gonna get you wanted down.
Dave's voice almost kind of has some of that Alice Cooper snarl going in this part.
Vision, about to let this 30mm cannon go. You never seen us coming, so there's no chance of running. Nothing you do can stop them. They're gonna get you wanted down alive. You can run, but you know they will find you. Death waits in the dark, and they own the night.
We go through this whole part again. I'm going to give it some time to buffer properly. And it's like because it sounded like there were some badass guitar leads coming up, but I love how Dave like wrangled every bit of menace out of the word run possible. Run. You see, I can't even do it without fucking my throat up. And he had throat cancer. Yeah, this just ended. This album has really made me respect Dave Mustaine so much more. And I always appreciated his abilities as a songwriter and a guitarist, but like his voice was always one of those things where I felt like he tried to do things with it that it wasn't designed for, like more melodic operatic singing. I don't think that's his forte. I think that makes sort of like the weird like nasal sound he generates sometimes. I think it sort of can sound inappropriate. But Tout le Monde is a good example of that. Props to him for trying something different. I don't think his voice is designed for things like that. Hangar 18, I thought the more melodic singing worked great, but it's growlers like Symphony of Destruction and this and We'll Be Back. That's where his voice shines. It's got that grit. He's got that snark. And now again, older and battle damaged. Those are things that you can't teach in a singer. So yeah, it feels like he's got that extra amount of pain and aggression in his voice, which I love. Okay, you ready to go now?
And Black Hawk helicopters coming in low in the dark at night, loaded with Rangers and Delta Force special ops shooters, locked and loaded. Game's over, bitches. Got you in my night vision, about to let this 30mm cannon go. You never seen us coming, so there's no chance of running. Nothing you do can stop them. They're gonna get you wanted down alive. You can run, but you know they will find you. Death waits in the dark, and they own the night.
This I was not expecting. But it's beautiful. Filthy.
Hydra rockets are all locked and loaded. Laser-guided Hellfire missiles are ready and armed. Itchy fingers and 30 mic triggers. They enter the fight with all their targets acquired. Flying information like a black snake. Slithering closely over the nap of the earth. Slicing the silvery bluish night fog to ribbons. The time has come to return dirt back to the dirt. Oh, yeah!
Okay, I'm terrified to pause because I don't want this to start buffering again, but the time has come to return dirtbag to dirt. That is an awesome line. So far, I could say that there's one thing I'm disappointed in, is that I love the fact that We'll Be Back degenerated into guitar solo orgies at times. This one, there have been 2 leads. They've been amazingly performed. Again, both Dave and Kiko are fantastic guitarists, both rhythm and lead. So I definitely want to hear more. I guess for me, every song has got to, for Megadeth, should degenerate into just a guitar solo trade-off. But they're making up for it just with these switches, like the difference in riffs and in tempos, and that acoustic bit was just beautiful. And I was actually sort of interested. I'm like, okay, if Dave sings over this, what's it going to sound like? So he did not. So I'm still left wondering. So maybe elsewhere in the album. But yeah, this is much less guitar heavy than the original. But the vocals are definitely taking center stage. And they're absolutely killing it. And as far as guitars go, those riffs that they're cranking out are just amazing. I love the bass interlude there. That was great. And I just want to mention the videos that both had this military theme. So I'm wondering if the album is has some sort of theme or concept behind it. I'll have to look into that. I also like how Vic, the Megadeth mascot, the skeleton mascot, if you will, has sort of been reinvented as this cyborg angel of death, almost. Bands have to evolve. Megadeth has evolved. Vic has evolved. Again, very cool. And it's almost like Vic had to change forms to... he had to level up to combat a more combative or warlike or hostile world. So let's go back here just a bit. Pray to the gods of technology that it doesn't stop buffering. But Megadeth is 2 for 2 on this album, and like 2 for 2 with a bullet, if you will. But yeah, both songs are absolute monsters.
Black snake, slithering closely over the nap of the earth, slicing the silvery bluish night fog to ribbons. The time has come to return dirt back to the dirt. Oh, yeah!
That's great. Yeah, that last solo, that felt very 80s, and I loved it. I just love the build. I love how it started very beautifully and melodically and just sped up. I'm gonna check this out and remind myself, hey, getting old, the glasses go on, the glasses go off. Just I want to check the personnel in the band. Dave Mustaine, Kiko Lorero. Lorero? Yeah, I'm sure I'm botching that. Yeah, those are your that's your guitar team. Much more restrained in this one, but this song was more about definitely felt moodier. It is interesting. Like both songs were blistering, but like the other one was just like all out fury and guitar pyrotechnics, and this one had more of a creepy vibe to it, more menace. So yeah, that's again, it's stunning how awesome Megadeth is at this stage of their career. So this was another banger, another well-produced video. I'm not quite sure what the storyline is, but visually it's eye-catching. It fits the tone of the music perfectly. So probably going to be doing chapter 3. Hope you guys enjoy this. Definitely going to be checking out some of the previous albums. I think you all would enjoy a reaction to something from Super Collider. That is a joke, but I might do that. Like I said, I'm the sort of person that sees that as a challenge. But no, definitely going to be checking out more from the Sick, the Dying, and the Dead, and definitely looking back towards some of Megadeth's more recent stuff that has passed me by. So thank you guys so much. Like the video if you will. Appreciate a subscription. We'll be doing more of these metal videos. Comments. That's more than anything. Would love to see comments from you guys. Definitely enjoy talking metal with you. That would be sweet. We've got a $5 membership tier with some very interesting stuff that's going to continue to grow. So thank you guys so much for this. Mental health is real. Metal is real. Listening to metal actually has been proven to be very beneficial to one's mental health. They've actually done research on this. So me, you, all the old metalheads can now walk around going, "We told you so." Anyway, love you guys. See you around.